Hey y'all, know what time it is? Ask AP Live. Why every time I get on here I sing that part? I'm crazy. Okay y'all, come on in. Yes. Get y'all tapping in early. Shout out to the Billboard besties. Those are the ladies and the reason why I am all over the city of Detroit. Shout out to my girl Shay and my girl Drea. Billboard besties. I love them to pieces. If you need a billboard, you need to shop right now. What's up, Tasha? Tasha is tuning in from Oregon. Where y'all from tonight? I know Detroit on here, as always. My favorite place in the world. Come on in, y'all. It's time for Ask AP Live. We are still talking about surviving the pandemic as a business owner. Tonight I have Chef Musheya Glenn, who is the head chef, and she's also the owner of the Pasta Bowl Detroit. I don't know if you guys ever visit the Pasta Bowl over there on 6 Mile, but it's so good. All kind of like pasta bowl dishes, lamb chops, chicken, salmon, everything. It's so good. And I'm super excited to have her on the show tonight. And she should be tapping in just a few. But I want to know who on here tonight. So, where you from? I know I've been having LA on here, Chicago, Virginia, DC. Where y'all from? I see a lot of familiar faces. That always does me so good. Thank y'all for continuously coming back to check out the show. I see some new people. I appreciate you. If this is your first time, hello. You are welcomed. And I hope you come back again. Tell a friend. Tell a bunch of friends. Tell your family. Tell people that you don't like. It's cool. Watch my show. You're going to love it here. Y'all can say something now. This is the time. London. How can I forget, Tasha? London was watching the show last week. Y'all, listen, y'all, I'm grateful and thankful for everybody that come on. But when London came on, somebody from London was watching. I almost fell out of my chair. Hey, Alyssa, I love you, girl. Thank you so much for tuning in. Ebony is here. Ebony watches from California. Hey, Ebony girl. That's my girl. Hey, friend. My friend Nichelle is here. Hey, girl, hey. Where y'all from? Detroit is always here, but we got some new faces on. If you're from out of town, tell me where you're from and what time is it there. 'Cause I don't know what time it was in London, child. I had no idea, but I was geeked. Little black girl from Detroit got somebody in London watching. Come on now. Can't tell me nothing. Tonight, y'all, we have another incredible show. If you've been keeping up all month long, you know that we are talking to business owners about surviving the pandemic. Tonight we have Chef Musheya Glenn, who is the head chef and also the owner of the Pasta Bowl Detroit, and she also sponsored the show tonight. So let me tap that in real quick before we bring Musheya in. What are you talking about, my light? What about it? Charge my phone, girl. It is. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So tonight, girl, you worried about the wrong thing, child. Don't worry about what's going on in the background, boo. Worried about what's getting ready to be said tonight. Black folks know they gonna pick out stuff. Let that thing do what it's doing. I don't even hear that. All right, y'all. Invite some people on in. I think Musheya is here. We gonna bring her in because I think I saw her. All right, Musheya girl. There she go.
Hey, girl.
There go the boss. There go the boss lady.
Hey, AP.
Hey, Musheya, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am fantastic. So I want to thank you first and foremost for being on the show tonight. I know you are super busy all the time, and I appreciate people's time. So for you to stop what you're doing and come on here tonight, I am absolutely positively grateful. I appreciate your time. I do not play with time because I don't like nobody playing with my time. I'm sensitive about time.
Listen, I am thankful that you invited me. You know,
Absolutely. Let me tell you something though that's gonna be crazy.
wow.
And you don't even know this. This is before we even get started. You don't even know this, right? I didn't tell you on purpose because I wanted to tell you right here.
What?
You inspired this month.
Did I?
Yes.
Ah.
Yes. You inspired this month because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do this month. I knew I wanted to do something geared towards because we're technically like 2 years into the pandemic. Sure. So I was thinking about different ideas, and then when I talked to you and Nene just randomly while y'all was working out.
Yep.
And you said surviving the pandemic.
Girl, yes.
And that is what the month has been about. So, girl,
thank you.
I had to give you your props, girl.
Thank you, girl.
You are so welcome. So, if you are just tuning in, welcome to Ask AP Live. If this is your first time, I'm so glad you're here. I see a lot of people that have came back. I am super grateful that you guys continue to look at the show every week. This is Chef Musheya Glenn, who is the owner and head chef of the Pasta Bowl Detroit. That food is so good. If y'all have never had the Pasta Bowl before, you are tripping, okay? She also sponsored the show tonight. That's why I'm calling her the boss. Because Musheya said she gonna be on the show and she gonna sponsor it. So I am super excited to have you today, Musheya.
You, AP.
No, I gotta geek you up, girl. Okay.
You and I go way back, girl.
We go so far back. I wasn't even on the radio. That's how far back we go.
And I was in culinary school, and I think you were in school, right?
Yeah. We were both in school. That's correct.
Determined.
Look at God.
Listen, won't he do it?
He will. He will. That's so crazy. That's why having good relationships is always a blessing. That is the best thing ever, to be able to look back on where we came from and look at what we're doing now. So before we get started, I want to talk a little bit about foundation.
Okay.
Before we go into the meat of everything, because I believe that foundation shapes us. Where we come from, how we grew up, it shapes us into who we are today. So let's throw it back a little bit and let's talk about your upbringing and your background before we get to what you do now.
Right. Well, I come from a line of entrepreneurs. You know, my grandfather raised me. Him and my grandmother had multiple businesses. So I came up as a little girl riding around collecting rent with my grandfather on the east side on Loretto. And
come on with
in the hood, right? So, I mean, and then from there, you just develop these different structures, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then being determined, you know what I mean? And so nothing was given to me, but I saw what it took.
You saw hustlers.
I saw hustlers.
Of course. It's so crazy. Them grandparents, child, they have you doing stuff. You be like,
listen, The strongest kid in the world to me is a grandparent raised baby, right?
Absolutely. You know, that's me all day.
Right.
All day. Born and raised with my grandparents, and that really shaped me into the person I am. So
Me too.
absolutely. So we're gonna fast forward just a little bit, and we're gonna, because I never asked you this before, so I feel like this is a really really good question.
Yeah.
So and being that you were raised by your grandparents, this kind of makes sense what I'm getting ready to say.
Okay.
So the cooking, were did you get that with granddaddy and grandma? Like, if you just grew up and they were cooking and you just wanted to cook, or how did the love for cooking come about?
So this gonna piss some of my family off, but I don't.
Oh, listen, y'all. Disclaimer: whatever she say, it ain't got nothing to do with me, y'all. Don't be mad at me. I never heard this before.
God rest her soul. My grandmother was not a good cook to me. She was not. She was
Girl.
She was a beautiful woman. My granny wasn't that granny that you came in and had a spread laid out. My grandma was like, y'all better get in there and cook. I'm going to collect this rent. I'm going to do. My grandmother was not, and it could be because she had 5 kids before us,
Right?
Had her grandkids. So at this point, she showed us. Now my granddaddy, he did his thing a little bit, but my granny didn't really cook like that.
Say granddad, say grandma, that wasn't it.
So that inspired me. But a lot of the neighborhood mothers that I grew up with, you know how, one of my best friend's mother was like a great cook and stuff like that. And then I call her my other mother. She had a restaurant and she worked there when I was 15 years old. That's where I was inspired to even go into food as a kid. Like I just looked up to this woman, just how she moved and how she her class and pride, how she took. So that inspired me right there. And then my brother cooked and he was not a good cook. So a bunch of people that couldn't cook inspired me to cook.
So you start cooking. When you start cooking, tell me what were some of the first things that you probably ever made, which you knew you were good at. Because the pasta bowl is our signature dishes.
They are signature dishes.
Right.
Spaghetti. Turkey spaghetti was my dish. You hear me? So that my turkey spaghetti had turkey sausage in it, turkey pepperoni, everything. Peppers, onions, mushroom, you name it. So, and then from there, soul food, and then I went to culinary school. So when I went to culinary school, that opened my eyes to different styles of cooking, different ethnicities, as far as food. So from there, we learned Italian, Japanese, Chinese, blah, blah, blah. But the one thing that you learn in culinary school for the very first year is sauces.
Wow. I would never think that they would start off with sauces. I wonder about sauces.
Sauces is the base to everything. Right? Marinades, gravies, everything. Think about this. It's a sauce first. And then I'm gonna make it into, right? So we were trained under an Italian chef and he showed us all these different sauces that, and then I just kind of was like, dang, what's not in the hood?
What's not there?
What don't we have access to, right? Like we all loved Olive Garden, right? Everybody loved Olive Garden. Olive Garden is, you was back then, Olive Garden was our J. Alexander's, right?
That was our say all be all for pasta.
Exactly. So my thoughts was to bring that to the neighborhood, and it's affordable and it's fresh.
Talk about opening up the restaurant, because I know that before you opened the pasta bowl, you had another storefront, right?
So no, I actually worked for my best friend Bobby, who owns. So Spud Heads was the first independent business I worked for. I had worked for like in different corporate culinary settings before.
Right.
So Bob owned Spud Heads and he opened a second location on the east side. And he kind of gave me a blank canvas, like, here, get this open for me.
Right.
Like, okay. And so he really gave me that experience with Bobby I'm forever grateful. He gave me hands-on to, you know, own and operate a business. Because, I mean, he didn't stand over my head. He kind of gave me instructions like, okay, well, this is how you do this is how you do that. And he was gone because Bobby, like, the Energizer Bunny.
Right.
So when he did that, I just took off. I'm like, Bob, I'm only be here for a year, and then I'm doing my own thing. And that's what happened.
So talk about opening a restaurant and what and what that looks like. So it may be someone on here that's thinking about opening a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
They just need some pointers. Talk about what it looks like to open up a restaurant, because all the things that you need for a restaurant, I can't even wrap my mind around all of the things that you will possibly need
It's
to open. So what does that look like for a first-time entrepreneur?
So first things first is plan your menu out and cost it out, right? Once you plan out your menu, cost it out, then sit down with somebody who's in the game already. A lot of people mess up and they go and buy a ton of equipment that they don't need.
Mm-hmm.
Experience and somebody who's worked in the field can let you know, okay, well, no, you don't need this, you need that, you need this, you need that, right? That's number one. Number two, have your money together, because it has changed. Pasta Bowl is going on 7 years old, June 5th. Thank you, Jesus, right?
Lord.
And I have opened and closed 3 restaurants throughout that 7-year period, right? Yeah, and it's cool. They all been lessons. I literally just closed the Detroit Taco Bar January 1st, right down the street. Good concept, good food, but hey, it was just too much on me.
Yeah.
It was just too much. So just be prepared, because it's a lot of late nights, it's a lot of early mornings, it's a lot of weeks you might not get paid.
Yeah.
You know, just be prepared to make sure you kind of put yourself last, because you got to put your business first. You know what I mean? It's like having a child.
Right. I'm glad that you touched on that, because I always share with my audience how entrepreneurship is not easy. And sometimes having a regular 9 to 5 is like easier, even though we complain about it, it's easier than having your own business. So that was a good point to piggyback off of the trials and tribulations, and how when you come into entrepreneurship, you will not be an overnight success. Talk about the closing of the 3 businesses and what that felt like. The blood, sweat, and tears into these 3 things, and to have to close them, because that's real. Like, it happens.
You have to be big enough to make an executive decision.
Yeah.
And I wasn't always strong enough to. I have a strong business partner, Mr. B. And he owns Mr. B Soul Food. And Mr. B has been my mentor, my guide, as far as on, okay, this is what you do, this is what you don't do, this is what makes sense, this is what don't make sense. You know what I mean? Because a piece of me like, oh, I can't close that down, I'm gonna look like a fool. He like, girl, is your bank account gonna look like a fool? Right? So, you know, he taught me that, hey, damn what people may say or think, you have to do what makes sense. That's right. The taco bar one was a hard one to close, because that was kind of my baby. Like, I did it by myself. Like Pasta Bowl, the concept and everything, I kind of created that by myself. But Mr. B held my hand. But this was this project I built from the ground up.
Right.
But the pandemic did a number on it. Like, and it was, I just got tired.
I want to tap into that part, because overall the reason behind the shows all month have been about businesses surviving the pandemic. So because of the pandemic, the last week I had a young lady on who thrived through the pandemic like crazy.
Right.
It's good that I have a balance of both, because you actually had to shut down your business during the pandemic. How did that make you feel, having to just, you know, because nobody knew this was coming. This is just something that happened, and it's still happening, and it just, you know, some people thrive, some people didn't. So just tell me how that affected you, more so mentally than anything.
It was exhausting. I'm still exhausted, right?
Yeah.
So Yeah, we did. We had a run. We had a rush, right?
Mm.
Our people received more money probably than a lot of our people received
Yeah.
that ever had received probably in their lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
From PPP to the unemployment
Mm-hmm.
to the scam to the this to the that, right? We're just keeping it 100, right?
Right.
So the hood jumping,
Mm-hmm.
spending money, and then October the government cut it. Whoop,
Shut it down.
shut it down. But when they was spending the money and the money was floating through, right? We were able to keep afloat. We were doggy paddling because, okay, this money is coming, but the businesses weren't really paying attention to inflation,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you got this couple of extra dollars coming in. So it's like, okay, well, we stand afloat and I can stay balanced and blah, blah, blah. But when that money stopped,
Mm-hmm.
inflation constantly is still rising. Like,
Yeah, because the cost of food is crazy.
girl, every Monday, our numbers change.
Mm-hmm.
From when I first did the business plan for Pasta Bowl, I was just looking at it before you and I logged in.
Mm-hmm.
And the 40-pound case of chicken in 2014 was $28.
How much is it now?
$122.
Wow.
Same 40-pound case of chicken, right?
That's
That and then so now not only inflation, then you having limited supply because shelves are they're big because
mm-hmm.
they're not able to manufacturers are not able to produce because they have lack of workers or whatever they're going through, right?
Right.
So it was exhausting. You
So
go out.
between like the food prices going crazy, and they still are,
Mhm.
and the lack of people, not wanting to work because people was getting all that money. Nobody wanted to work. I don't think nobody still wants.
They still don't want to work. It's hard.
Decision. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. So between the lack of food and the food going up and the lack of workers, you had to make an executive decision to shut down.
Yes. I had to. I said, which one? Well, Pasta Bowl, she's gonna do what she do. I'm gonna eventually add the taco bar stuff in the Pasta Bowl building, and then
Okay.
be done with it. But just having two buildings, two overheads, two light bills, two gas, two water.
Ooh, Lord. That already sounds like a lot to me.
Girl, too much going out and not enough coming in.
Absolutely.
So,
That's real. That's definitely real. So I want to talk about the do's and the don'ts, because to make that kind of decision, you really, really had to be you had to be very strategic.
yes.
To just walk away. Like, this wasn't something that wasn't an overnight type of decision. So let's give somebody who's looking at this live right now some do's and don'ts of business. So let's start with the do's.
Okay. Do stay in your lane.
Ooh, ain't nobody came heat like that off rip.
Stay in your lane, man.
Stay in your lane. Thanks.
Stay in your lane. Don't let social media make you feel like you're not doing enough.
Right.
Have blinders on. Even if it takes for you to take a picture of your food, post it, and log off. Don't worry about what nobody else is doing.
That's good.
Don't trust anybody with your baby.
Yeah.
Don't take your hand off your baby depending on someone else to run it like you.
Right.
Listen to God. That's the first thing.
Gotta listen to him. Yeah.
I'm just walking by faith and everything.
Absolutely. We all are.
So from opening the doors to closing, God gonna tell you,
Mm-hmm.
and just stay original,
That's so good, Musheya. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, those are the morals I stick by.
Yeah.
I mean, I have so many people, oh, you should do this, you should do that. That's not for me.
Yeah.
For me.
Know
look,
what you're called to. Know
no,
what your gifting is.
yes.
Yeah. That's real good. That's real good. Real good.
Mm.
Support. Always gotta talk about support, child.
Yes, girl.
Support or lack thereof, should I
Oh,
say.
girl.
What is your stand on that? I always share my little spiel before I let y'all go, because
Yeah, go.
I used to really have a problem when I didn't when I just didn't get the support that I felt I should get. You
Mm-hmm.
know, my due, my just. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and it wasn't until I stopped worrying about all of that, and
Mm-hmm.
then my business began to be blessed, because let's be clear, strangers will make you rich.
Okay. Say it again. Listen,
Complete strangers.
complete strangers.
People
Right?
that you do, I hope somebody's listening.
Mm.
People that you do not know
Will make
will
you
make you rich. But Musheya, you let me stop, because I can go forever on that.
nah, but you
Yeah,
preaching, but
talk about what support looks like for you, or lack thereof.
support for me, it came from people who I never would have thought that supported me. I mean, even my business partner was a complete stranger to me, who's now family.
Yeah.
But I mean, and this man invested money and time in somebody he didn't know. He you know, he had a he said, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. Like, and
Yeah.
we ever since, I have friends that I've looked out for them and I've looked out for their kids, and I can't get them to like, share, nothing. You'd be like, well,
And it be so simple. It's just that simple sometimes for us, because we're not looking for, people don't understand that money money isn't everything. And when people start to realize that, people who thrive off money, it just be like, it's so weird, because we gonna get some money.
mm-hmm.
The money gonna come. Not that we don't need money, but we gonna get money. But can you share the post?
You
Can you
share,
like it?
like it,
Tell somebody about it? Can you call somebody? And I mean, I'm just saying.
girl. I done help folks get stop cooking out they dang on basement and put them in commercial kitchens, honey. They won't even speak to me.
See what I'm saying? But they forget all that. They forget the we really know who you are outside of Instagram.
Girl, bye. I'm talking them in
No,
$100,000 commercial kitchens that was mad. Like, here, God bless you. They talk about like, oh, she blah 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 blah. Like, girl, or who she thinks she is. You like, are you kidding? Like, this me? Are you serious?
right,
But
right.
I, I'm still working on me, because it used
Absolutely.
to hurt my feelings. Like, real talk, hurt my feelings. Like, I would be like, well, damn, we supposed to be this. Like, how could you, like, this me?
Been there. Yeah.
You know, so one of my good friends say, man, just let it go.
You
You
got to.
you gotta let it go.
Got to.
Get your good deed. You like Pac said, you and I know what's going on.
We do. We really
Keep it moving for real, for real.
do. We gonna swing over to what I really like to talk about. And that's having a great team, because at the end of the day, you have people who are on your team that have opened up doors for you. You've worked under, some heavy hitters,
Yes.
and you got introduced, to the game. You got a big homie. I always say,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta, in your business, in your lane, you gotta have a big homie. People do not understand the big homie factor. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta have somebody that you can learn from, and you have had the privilege and the honor to have big homies, and that's why you are so successful. So talk about just having that team and that mentorship, and how that opened up doors for you, and still opening up doors for you.
Well, first, Rhonda Walker.
Rhonda!
I give Rhonda all praise all the time, because
Yeah.
my reputation and everything and these different, she introduced me to that when I was cooking out of my home.
Yeah.
Because you remember, I did Come Taste Detroit, which we're going to
Yeah.
bring back this fall. That's the goal, right? Come Taste Detroit was before all of these different pop-ups. Remember that, AP? We was doing that in 2013.
I remember. You know I remember.
So, you know, my first interview with her, she liked my style. She threw me a shot. First little gig, she's like, don't be late. I was late. Girl, she just looked at me and blinked. Girl, I felt like a little kid. I was going to the corner and cry. But let me tell you something. She didn't shame. She just held me accountable, right?
Yep.
From that day forth, I was about punctuality,
Absolutely,
professionalism, accuracy, everything. Like, you know, I mean, I already was like that, but she made me be like, if you about to work with these type of people, this is how you
those big jobs, you gotta be big. Yeah.
The shit, you know. So, excuse my language. I ain't that.
You okay? You okay?
So, you got to be on your stuff. So, hey, and then, you know, like I said, Bobby, Mr. B, and then I have to talk about my team who keeps me going.
Let's talk about your team. I love when entrepreneurs talk about their team, because that's what the team. That's that well-oiled machine. That's what keep everything. You can't do it all by yourself.
Demarius, Rob,
don't.
My son.
That's amazing.
They've been there since day one. We have had our ups and downs, but when I say that Demarius and Robert from 18 Cheesecake, they started with me from day one. We all went to culinary school, and those guys been rocking with me ever since. You know, they operate out of my business, but at the end of the day, we're one. You know, and they keep that thing going like they do. They keep me going. You know, they keep. You know, and I love them, and it's not like, oh, you work for me. No, we work together.
Right, absolutely. A real boss. Yeah, that's right.
Anybody working for me, of course, in leadership, you know, somebody has to be. But
right.
But we have a conversation. I don't talk at people. I'm gonna talk to you. You know.
Right.
And so that's that.
Yeah, we there is definitely no I in team. You need a solid team. I have been very, very prayerful about, Lord, I need a team. I do everything for my show.
Oh.
Everything. I mean, I'm okay with that now, because what I don't want is the wrong people on my team. So until I get the right ones, I would do all of this. I would do the booking. I would do the promotion. I would do everything for it, because, like you said, it's mine.
It's your baby.
It's my baby. So in order for this to work the way that I need it to work, if I don't have the right people right now, I just got to do what I got to do. But I'm praying, girl. Yeah. I'm praying for a good team.
Right person, people, the right team. Just stay prayed up and keep going. Keep going. Don't stop.
Absolutely. So we're going to wrap up.
Okay.
I always end my show like this all the time. What would mature, have been through some things, have seen a lot of things, Musheya?
Yes.
Say to younger Musheya, what would you tell her right now?
Be careful who you trust.
Girl, that's good.
Right?
Yes.
Be careful. Don't be so. I was so goofy.
Ooh, we all.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's my friend. And this is my friend, and they love me. Girl, bye.
Goodbye.
Keep these big old eyeballs open and pay attention. And if they show you one sign, believe it. You know, believe.
The red flags is not a carnival, people.
They're not a carnival. Believe it.
Toxic.
Believe it. Believe it. Watch those side eyes. Those side eyes. Watch them.
Ooh, girl.
You know, I used to ignore them, and then I turn around and that back stabbed up. Watch them. Watch those side eyes. Watch those jokes.
Musheya, what?
What?
Watch those jokes that be real serious. They be serious, don't they?
Dead ass. Dead. Girl, but I'll be all night on this thing.
No, you can finish your thought out, because somebody on here need to hear that. Somebody on here has been way too nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to wake up.
Yes. And if you have an idea and you know you bring somebody new on, definitely get those non-compete clauses.
Child, that's how I lost my whole job at the radio station.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you even just said it, because you didn't even know that.
No, I did not.
That's how I lost my job. Fooling around with somebody.
Yeah.
And then had that paperwork together. Just being trusting,
Mm-hmm.
you know, wanting to help, bringing somebody aboard on what I had going on, thinking they was my friend, thinking they were for me, and ended up ending a almost 10-year radio career, fooling around with somebody I thought was my friend.
Goofy. I had a boyfriend.
Goofy.
Talk about it now, because y'all listen. Like Cash Doll said, the paperwork is clear. I can talk about it.
Paperwork is clear. Yeah.
This joker copied my idea, opened a store, and named it identical to my restaurant.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of that going on.
It's on the east side. Folk thinking that this is my restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
That's another reason I said, you know, I'm going to close this project over here. Because
they're
affiliating us together. I ain't going to say the joker name because I ain't going to give them.
We don't name drop over here. We just inspire.
You know who you are. And then the clown had the nerve to sue me. Girl, bye. Lost. God is good. But hey, I mean, I have a story to tell. I done been through it. You hear me?
Of course. But we live and we learn. And that's the great thing about God. He will definitely take you through some things just to show you what's on the other side. Yes. You got to go through something.
Yes, you have to. I don't regret any of the things I done went through. When I get through it, I'll be like, woo!
Like, I survived that?
And I get up and keep on going.
Absolutely. You always been a boss, Musheya, though. You always been a boss. When I first met you, you have always been kind and sweet, and my sister loved you.
Oh, I mean,
Let me say that. My sister loved you, and I'm glad that she got to experience your kindness, and y'all got to chop it up how y'all chopped it up.
Yeah,
and I'm grateful for that.
I'm so grateful that I met her, and my mind still blew back. But
yeah, I know, but
yeah,
it's all good.
It's all good.
All good. It's definitely all good. I appreciate you, Musheya, so much for being on the show. Tonight's show, y'all, is sponsored by the Pasta Bowl. Okay, the Pasta Bowl is on stage. Tell me what are the most popular dishes, Musheya, at the Pasta Bowl? Like, what everybody ordering?
Loving the lamb chops.
I seen that. I'm like, I gotta get me some of them.
Yeah, come get you some lunch tomorrow, girl. They love the chops. They love the salmon. They love the fried rice. I mean, honestly, they love everything. I haven't pulled pretty much anything off our menu since I opened. I just added the fried rice. So we have fried rice dishes now. But other than that, everything. We cook with love. Every dish, like if it don't look right, I'm not sending it out. But we have standards,
Yeah. Oh, I know you ain't messing with nothing but excellent. I already know that. I definitely appreciate you. Y'all make sure you tomorrow, what time y'all open?
We open at noon.
They're open at noon tomorrow, so I need y'all to get y'all some pasta bowl tomorrow. They're opening up at noon. You can tell your coworkers, y'all put an order together, because Musheya take orders. My sister used to get orders she taking big orders. So get the whole office some pasta bowl tomorrow, because I'm going up there and I'm going to get me some, and I'm going to post it tomorrow, and I don't want nobody to be jealous. Talk about that. Go to the Pasta Bowl on 6 Mile. They open at noon, and get your food tomorrow. Musheya, thank you so much.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate you.
No problem. I appreciate you. And I'll talk to you later.
All right. See you tomorrow.
Bye, y'all.